Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to dig into fascinating topics and pull out the key insights for you.
That's the plan.
Today, we're looking at something right at the cutting edge of AI. It's called GLUCOSE Agentic AI.
Yeah, and this isn't just, another chatbot upgrade. It's built with some pretty revolutionary ideas behind it.
Okay, so we're diving into the work of Vasily Malanin and Christophe. They're the co-founders of 5Y, the company behind GLUCOSE.
That's right. And what they've put together with GLUCOSE Agentic AI, well, it's really designed to fundamentally enhance, personalize, and, interestingly, control brand and product experiences.
Control. Okay.
And to do it autonomously, at scale.
Right. Autonomously and at scale. That sounds ambitious.
Yeah.
So let's break that down. What's the core problem GLUCOSE is actually trying to solve here?
Well, the founders saw this fundamental issue. Customer engagement today, it's often just broken.
Broken how?
Think about your own experience, right? How often do you deal with really impersonal, scattered interactions? You talk to one department, then another?
Oh, yeah. Constantly repeating yourself.
Yes, exactly. And the tools companies use now, CRMs, CX platforms, they can feel really rigid, reactive, not proactive. And honestly, pretty expensive for what they deliver sometimes.
They don't always feel like they build a real connection.
Precisely. And Vasily and Christophe, they have deep experience in digital transformation, so they saw these limitations firsthand. They saw generative AI emerging and realized, hang on, there's a chance here to build something radically different.
An agentic AI solution.
Yes, one that could really transform how brands interact across the entire customer journey. And this is interesting. You could even shift the power dynamic a bit.
How so?
Away from, say, the big tech platforms that often sit in the middle of those customer interactions now.
Yeah.
Giving brands more ability to own and cultivate those relationships directly.
Okay, I see. So our mission today is basically to explore how GLUCOSE is trying to redefine customer engagement and potentially shape the future of how we experience brands and products.
Yes, that's the goal.
So what's the plan? What are we covering?
Okay, first up, we'll properly introduce GLUCOSE Agentic AI. What it is, what problems it tackles, the industries it's targeting, and the key benefits it claims to offer.
Right.
Then we'll get into the good stuff, some real-world demos, specifically looking at the automotive sector so you can actually see how it works.
See it in action. Good.
And finally, we'll really pin down what makes GLUCOSE supposedly different from, your standard AI chatbots or other AI agents out there today.
Sounds like a solid plan.
Yeah.
Let's dive in. Part 1. The fundamentals. What exactly does GLUCOSE Agentic AI do?
Okay. At its core, GLUCOSE enhances, personalizes, and controls brand and product experiences, specifically for captive users, existing customers, and potential buyers.
Autonomously and at scale, you said.
Yes, autonomously and at scale. And it's not just about simple responses. It's goal-oriented. It can reason, it adapts to context, it can even make decisions on its own.
Okay, decisions. But what about control? Can businesses trust it?
That's crucial. It's built for explainability so you can trace why it did something, plus predictability and brand control. That's key.
Right, so it's not just reacting, it's actively working towards goals. What kind of goals?
The big picture goal, to autonomously handle the whole customer lifecycle. Think acquisition, engagement, conversion, ongoing support.
The whole funnel.
Exactly, but maybe replacing the traditional funnel. Doing it 24/7 with really marginal engagement costs, moving away from those broken funnels toward these autonomous, personalized experiences.
That sounds like a massive shift from how things work now. You mentioned data earlier, too.
Yeah, that's a really big piece. It captures what they call unprecedented first-party data.
How is that different from what a CRM captures?
It goes deeper because GLUCOSE learns directly from the unaltered contextual interaction. Yeah. It's not just form fills or purchase history. It's the nuances of the conversation.
Oh.
And that gives brands a much richer understanding of their users. And importantly, it helps them reclaim control over those brand and product experiences.
Reclaim control, you mean from?
Well, the founders worry that if brands don't step up, AI assistants from the big tech players might end up dictating those experiences instead. So it's about brands owning their own narrative, their own interactions.
That's a really powerful point. Okay, so we know what it does. Let's double click on the problems it's solving. You said engagement is broken.
Yeah, the current landscape is often Impersonal campaigns, short-lived effects, expensive retargeting, promo blasts.
The usual suspects.
Right. And the founders argue that the traditional marketing funnel is just becoming obsolete in this environment. The unit economics often just don't work for really owning that customer relationship through old methods.
It feels like constantly spending money just to tread water sometimes.
That's a good way to put it. You've got these fragmented, disconnected journeys across loads of different channels.
Yeah.
And industries dealing with complex products. Or maybe they're stuck with legacy tools. They really struggle with efficient engagement. They lack deep insights.
And that makes it hard for users too, right? If the product's complicated.
Absolutely. It creates cognitive barriers. Users struggle to understand or get the most out of things. And the result, you have millions of existing customers, captive users who are just untapped, underengaged, because the systems aren't efficient enough.
So who's feeling this pain the most? Which sectors are really looking at something like GLUCOSE?
They highlight a few key areas where these challenges really bite hard. Think industries with product complexity, where user education is vital.
Okay.
Where customer journeys are naturally fragmented, maybe brand consistency is tough, engagement costs are soaring, and there's a huge need for personalization at scale.
Can you give some examples?
Sure. Automotive, mobility, and transportation, this is where we'll see the demos. But also things like commercial and industrial vehicles, industrial appliances, machinery.
Heavy stuff.
Yeah. Buildings, property units, consumer appliances, healthcare, hospitality and travel, financial services, energy, utilities, even consumer goods. Basically anywhere that ongoing engagement and tailored experiences around a product are really key.
Wow, that covers a lot of ground. So if a company in one of those sectors implements GLUCOSE, what are the tangible benefits they can expect?
The list is pretty compelling. First off, better customer engagement and actually using the product more, all done at scale.
And cost savings.
Big time. Because it's autonomous, there's less overhead. So efficient support, significant cost reduction potential. Plus, the unique data capture we talked about, unaltered contextual insights, actionable stuff.
Okay. And thinking specifically about automotive, like in the demos.
Right. For auto, it helps integrate into that whole mobility ecosystem. It lets brands differentiate across their entire fleet, not just the newest models.
Right.
And they make some pretty bold claims about cost reduction, like potentially slashing cost per lead, cost per qualified lead, customer acquisition cost by up to 10x.
10 times. Seriously.
That's the claim. They also talk about cutting conversion time by 50% or more, boosting loyalty, retention, lifetime value, all with no added operational cost.
Okay, hold on. Slashing costs by 10x, cutting conversion time in half. How? What's the mechanism there? Is that realistic across the board?
Well, the argument hinges on the efficiency of autonomous engagement. You're cutting out a lot of the manual steps, the waiting, the back and forth inherent in traditional sales and support funnels. It's about streamlining the entire journey.
Okay.
Now, is it always 10x? Probably depends heavily on the starting point, right? What are you comparing it against?
Ooh.
But the potential for drastic efficiency gains is the core idea.
Got it. So, major efficiency gains. But what about the actual customer experience? Does it feel better for the user?
That's the other side of the coin. It's designed to deliver a consistent brand and product experience reliably, predictably every time.
Consistency is huge.
It is. And that should lead to higher customer satisfaction, better retention, which then fuels the business benefits. More sales, repeat purchases, higher lifetime value.
So if every interaction becomes super personalized like this, what does that do to traditional marketing that relies on broad segments, like demographic targeting?
Yeah, definitely suggests a shift, doesn't it? Towards much more direct one-to-one conversations, understanding the individual's actual needs and context, rather than just bucketing them into broad groups based on assumptions.
So it's not just cheaper for the business, it's actually a better, more relevant experience for me as a customer.
That's the ideal outcome, yes.
Yeah.
Better for the customer, which in turn is better for the business.
And this thinking fits into a larger market trend.
Oh, absolutely. The agentic AI market itself is projected to be massive. We're talking over $200 billion by 2030.
Wow.
The broader AI market, even bigger obviously, Bloomberg Intelligence sees it hitting $1.3 trillion by 2032. And a big chunk of that, maybe 30%, is expected to come from AI-driven applications and services like this.
So GLUCOSE is positioning itself within this massive wave.
Exactly. Some analysts, like at Goldman Sachs, even think agentic AI could replace maybe 20-25% of the entire SaaS market by 2030.
Replacing existing software.
Potentially disrupting it, yeah. So GLUCOSE sees itself as creating a whole new category, aiming to shake up those established CRM, CPS, and CX solutions.
Okay, the potential seems huge. This gives us a really good grounding in what GLUCOSE is aiming for. I'm definitely keen to see how this plays out in practice now. Let's get into those demos for the auto sector.
Sounds good. We've got 4 different scenarios lined up that really showcase its capabilities here.
All right, first one, ownership and after sales. A Volkswagen Tiguan. What's the story?
Okay, so imagine Peter.
Yeah.
He owns a 4-year-old VW Tiguan, maybe bought it used. He needs help, so he pings Volkswagen on Telegram.
Okay.
GLUCOSE kicks in, establishes a personal connection. Peter's not even sure the exact year, but GLUCOSE guides him super easily to find the VIN code. He just snaps a picture of the VIN sticker and sends it.
Ah, the multimodal thing again, text and images.
Exactly. GLUCOSE reads the VIN from the photo, identifies the car, 2021 Tiguan, 2.0L, 4-wheel drive, even pulls up key specs and safety features for Peter.
Nice. Then what?
Then Peter sends another photo, this time, of a warning light on his dashboard. "What's this?" he asks.
Okay, common problem.
Right. GLUCOSE diagnoses it. Issue with the adaptive front lighting system. It explains what that system does, and then, crucially, gives Peter options. He can try some troubleshooting steps himself, or book a service appointment.
So it's not just take it to the dealer, it tries to help immediately.
Correct. Peter decides, okay, better book it in. GLUCOSE then walks him through finding the nearest VW service center and picking a time. Super intuitive, even if Peter doesn't give much info initially.
And you said he bought it secondhand.
Yes, so this is key. This interaction turns Peter, who might never have gone to an official VW workshop, into a first-time service customer.
Ah, that's clever. Acquiring a service customer basically for free, just through good support.
Pretty much. But it doesn't stop there. GLUCOSE noticed Peter mentioned an upcoming family trip during the chat.
Okay.
So contextually, it suggests relevant accessories. Hey, thinking about your trip, would a roof box be helpful? Or maybe some tablet holders for the back seats?
And it doesn't feel like a hard sell.
Apparently not, because Peter's interested. And GLUCOSE just seamlessly adds the installation for those accessories into the service appointment he already booked.
That is smooth. Anticipating needs based on the conversation.
Exactly. And one more thing. Remember, Peter sent the photo of the dashboard for the warning light.
Yeah.
GLUCOSE also captured the mileage from that photo. So it proactively tells Peter, hey, based on your mileage, here's the general servicing typically recommended for your Tiguan.
Setting expectations. Nice.
Yeah, gives Peter a full picture, no surprises when he gets there.
Wow. Okay, that demo covers a lot. Personalization, diagnostics, booking, upselling contextually, service history. Very comprehensive. What's demo number 2?
Second one shifts focus to the start of the journey. A sales opportunity signal, booking a test drive for a Toyota RAV4.
Okay, lead generation. How does this work?
So here we have Pierre. He sees an ad for the latest Toyota RAV4 Hybrid Prime XS. Maybe there's a QR code on the ad. He scans it. It opens his messaging app, WhatsApp maybe. No need to create an account, no login. He just says, saw the ad, tell me more.
Frictionless. I like it.
Exactly. GLUCOSE gives him an overview, highlights key features. Pierre asks a few questions. Is it eco-friendly? What's the warranty like? GLUCOSE answers them.
Standard chatbot stuff so far, maybe?
Or sort of. But then GLUCOSE autonomously offers the next step. Would you like to book a test drive?
Ah, proactive again.
Yep. Asks a few simple things, preferred day, time slot. Pierre gives short answers, maybe just tomorrow afternoon. GLUCOSE gets it, figures out the details contextually.
Doesn't need rigid forms filled out.
Right. Then it just asks for contact details to confirm the booking. Done.
Okay, so that's all about smooth lead capture. Turning initial interest into a concrete next step, the test drive, with minimal effort for the user.
Precisely. Very intuitive, no roadblocks.
Makes sense. Demo number 3, another RAV4 warning light again, but you said this one highlights multimodal differently.
Yeah, similar starting point, different path. So Alicia needs help with her iVIC-E4.
Yeah.
She contacts Toyota via WhatsApp, maybe from a landing page link. Again, no account needed.
Okay.
She sends a photo of a warning light. GLUCOSE identifies it, explains the situation, potential causes, suggests actions similar to the VW demo.
Right. So what's the twist here?
The twist is what happens next.
Yeah.
After getting the info on the light, Alicia asks, okay, but now I think I have a flat tire. Can you help me change it?
Whoa, okay, that's a different problem entirely.
Totally different. And GLUCOSE just pivots. It starts providing step-by-step instructions on how to change the tire.
With pictures.
Yes, complete with guiding illustrations and practical tips right there in the WhatsApp chat. And the demo shows Alicia successfully changing the tire using GLUCOSE's guidance.
That's seriously impressive, going from dashboard diagnostics to roadside assistance mechanic, basically, all in one chat.
Exactly. It really shows the breadth of assistance it can offer, powered by those multimodal capabilities. It's not just stuck in one domain.
Okay, powerful. And the last demo, you mentioned voice.
Yes, Demo 4. Voice, multimodal, and dealing with a frustrated customer. We've all been there.
Haven't we just? So what's the setup?
It's John. He's trying to book a service for his Arrive V4. Maybe he's tried the website or phone, and he's getting nowhere. He's fed up.
Understandable.
So he opens his messaging app, hits the microphone button, and sends a voice message to Toyota, basically venting his frustration and asking for help booking the service.
Okay, can it handle that? The emotion, the voice input.
That's the point of the demo. GLUCOSE processes the voice message. First, it acknowledges his frustration. I understand that's annoying. Let me help you sort this out.
Yeah.
Show some empathy.
Good start.
Then he gets down to business. Asks about his preferred location, offers available slots for general servicing. John just replies verbally, yeah, the downtown one looks good. 10 a.m. works.
Just short voice replies.
Yep. And GLUCOSE interprets them, confirms the details, and autonomously books the appointment right there. Problem solved.
Wow. So it handled the frustration, used voice, understood context, and fixed the issue quickly. That could definitely turn a bad experience around.
That's the idea. Shows the flexibility handling different inputs, different emotional states, efficiently and effectively.
Okay, those 4 demos paint a really vivid picture. It's definitely way beyond basic Q&A. So this brings us nicely to the final section. What really makes GLUCOSE Agentic AI different? How does it stand out from the crowd of AI chatbots and agents?
Right, this is key. Because it's easy to hear AI chatbot and think you know what it is. But GLUCOSE is positioned as truly agentic.
Agentic meaning it has agency, it acts independently.
Pretty much. So one big difference. It's focus. It's on the whole brand and product experience, aiming for revenue-driving engagement across the entire journey.
Not just customer support queries or simple sales tasks.
Exactly. Many competitors focus mainly on support, cost reduction, or maybe very specific, limited sales enablement tasks. GLUCOSE aims broader.
Okay.
The journey orientation. GLUCOSE is built to maintain persistent context across multiple sessions, multiple interactions over time.
Like remembering the conversation from last week.
Yes. Unlike many chatbots that treat each chat as a one-off, task-based thing, you start fresh every time. GLUCOSE remembers. It builds a continuous experience.
That feels like a huge practical difference for the user.
It really is. And that ties into the true agentic reasoning. GLUCOSE is designed to make autonomous decisions based on its goals and the context.
Not just following a script or a decision tree.
Right. Many alternatives rely heavily on pre-programmed deterministic flows. If the user says X, respond Y. Or they might have very limited autonomous capabilities. GLUCOSE aims for genuine reasoning.
But you also mentioned explainability and control. How does that work if it's making autonomous decisions? Isn't that a bit black box?
That's a fair question. And it's a critical differentiator, they stress. They claim traceable, predictable outputs. You can understand the why behind its actions, unlike many alternatives where it is a black box, or you only get partial visibility.
Okay, that's important for businesses trusting it.
Hugely important.
Wow.
Another angle is industry specialization. GLUCOSE is built with vertical-specific expertise in mind, like we saw with Automotive.
Not just a generic chatbot with a few industry terms sprinkled in.
That's the claim. Deeper expertise versus generic approaches or basic add-ons. And related to trust and practicality, it's technology agnostic.
Meaning?
It can run on any cloud, work with any major large language model provider. You're not locked into one specific ecosystem, which is a complaint about some other solutions.
Gives businesses flexibility.
Flexibility and potentially lower total cost of ownership. It's designed to leverage existing legacy data and tools, not necessarily require massive back-end upgrades or huge upfront investments.
Less heavy lifting to get started. You mentioned that earlier.
Exactly. So summing up some core agentic aspects, it's about autonomy, not scripts. Understanding intent, adapting on the fly, handling nonlinear conversations.
Not just predefined Q&A.
Right. It's built on those journeys we talked about, defined by business users in natural language, not by programmers writing code for fixed flows.
Okay.
Smarter re-engagement, too. It can autonomously follow up based on context, signals, dropped conversations, not just wait for the user to start over.
Keeping the conversation alive.
Yeah, and that enables personalization at scale. delivering that segment of one experience, dynamically tailored, with persistent memory across the whole life cycle.
Which many systems lack or need complex CRM integrations for.
Correct. So enterprise-ready features like security, transparency, explainability, it integrates, it's not a rip and replace necessarily, and crucially, it aims for immediate business value by delivering these enhanced brand and product experiences to all captive customers, focusing on real outcomes like boosting engagement and conversions without adding a ton of new operational overhead. It's not just a cost center for support, it's driving value across the board.
That's a very different proposition from just handling support tickets. You mentioned some core components enabling this journey framework.
Yeah, the journey framework is their overall approach. The Journey Definition Language, or JDL, is how non-technical users define those desired interaction flows in natural language. And the planner handles the autonomous re-engagement part, knowing when and how to follow up.
So it all orchestrates together.
Right. The mantra is no deterministic flows, no decision trees, no guesswork. It's goal-driven autonomous orchestration.
And deployable anywhere. Messaging, voice, apps.
Yep. Platform agnostic, messaging platforms, voice assistants, companion apps, connected hubs in homes or cars, customer service systems, even in vehicle infotainment.
So it really can be that single best expert everywhere the customer interacts.
That's the vision. Brand ambassador, product guru, support rep, sales consultant, all rolled into one intuitive autonomous agent.
This has been genuinely fascinating, a really deep dive into GLUCOSE Agentic AI. It definitely feels like it has the potential to, well, shake things up significantly in how brands and customers connect.
Yeah, it's a compelling vision.
So if we were to boil it down, what are the absolute key takeaways for you, for our listeners?
I think the main thing is that this represents a potentially fundamental shift, moving beyond reactive, fragmented interactions towards autonomous, personalized, context-aware engagement across the entire customer journey.
Right.
The potential benefits are clear.
Yeah.
Better engagement, yes, but also real efficiency gains, much deeper customer insights from that first-party data, and ultimately stronger relationships and higher lifetime value.
It's about brands taking back control of that conversation.
Exactly. The founder's vision is really about transforming those interactions, making them more meaningful, more effective for everyone involved.
It definitely sounds powerful. It leaves you wondering, doesn't it, what actually becomes possible if a brand can genuinely understand and autonomously help every single user at every single touch point. That level of loyalty, that untapped potential, it's quite something to think about.
That's exactly the provocative thought they want to leave lingering, I suspect.
So if listeners are intrigued and want to learn more about GLUCOSE Agentic AI and 5.Y, where should they go?
Best bet is to check out the 5.Y website. That's the number 5, letter Y, or they can reach out directly. Email is info@5-wise.com.
Okay, info@5-wise.com.
And there's a phone number too, +65 8249 5288. They also have a YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, search for 5.Y GLUCOSE on YouTube. You can actually see the demos we talked about today there, plus other info.
Excellent. We'll make sure people know where to find that. Well, thank you. This has been incredibly insightful. Really appreciate you walking us through the world of agentic AI today.
My pleasure. It's definitely an exciting space to watch.
It certainly is. And a big thank you to you, our listeners, for joining us on this deep dive. Hope you found it as fascinating as we did.